3,000. That's right, we've flipped more than 3,000 profitable houses and can teach you how to do the same thing. Click the Academy link for your free roadmap to financial freedom.
Hi, my name is Julie Hicks. I had an idea of what real estate investing was, what wholesaling was, but I did my own research, but I knew that I would have to get in with somebody that could really point me down the right track so I wasn't making costly mistakes, as we all know in real estate we can do. So about 3 years ago I started working with Peter and his program, and luckily enough we lived in the same town. So after meeting Peter, after about 6 months of training, I did a few deals on my own. And
hey there, this is Peter Vexelman. So I'm here with Mike and Dave, and they've been here for a couple hours. And the reason I wanted to do this video, and I do a number of these, is that probably was a couple weeks ago you contacted me?
Yeah, 2-3 weeks ago.
2-3 weeks ago you were just Googling, I think you said?
Came up with came across your information, went to your site, saw your videos.
And contacted me.
Contacted you.
Yeah, one of your goals to grow a real estate business. And you know, we kind of talked probably about 3 or 4 times, and then what Mike said is he said, you know, hey Pete, looks pretty good, sounds pretty good. I got to make sure you're for real. And so before we kind of solidified our relationship, Mike wanted to fly in here. He brought his brother Dave, and he just wanted to spend a little time with us and just kind of see what it is we do and if we're actually for real, and meet the people here. So you guys have been here, I think, what, couple hours now, and
Yeah.
Before you leave, I just wanted to, you know, for you guys to spend a couple minutes with me and just tell me how was the last couple hours are? What'd you all see? Who'd you meet? What do we do?
You know, nothing spectacular, but profound, I guess, is a better way to say it. Interesting because, you know, we were talking to Julie,
Yep.
Who introduced us to the system and what you guys do here. And we saw some boards with some deals up, and she discussed the process, and we were asking some questions to get the feedback, and the answers were what we were looking to hear. And you know, if you want a system, that's what we're looking for. You know, many years in the real estate business, but doesn't make you many years richer. And at the end of the day, you know, goal here is to really systemize something. And I saw the system myself, and along with David, that possibilities are unlimited, really, quite frankly. And I appreciate that because, you know, there's a lot of talk about what you could do and possibilities, and it's for simple as it may appear. You know, the background is really, you know, behind everything is the hard work, but yet at the same time is systemization and simplifying it is probably the best way I can look at it, and that's what I saw.
Yep. I appreciate it. Dave, what'd you see?
Well, for me, I'm a systems guy, so I like processes that are easily put together and function well. And I mean, from the very first 10 minutes we were here, I was thoroughly impressed. I mean, looking at the way your processes are set up, seems to be fairly straightforward and simple. Obviously, it takes work behind the scenes, but I was really, really impressed. Really impressed. Like Mike says, we've been around in the training arena for over 25 years. Worked with some of the best trainers out there in the industry. So for us, you know, we scrutinize things a little differently than probably the average person off the street just because of our backgrounds. But we're very satisfied with everything we've seen so far, and it's just really excited to be able to come in and go to work with you.
All right.
You know, we're expecting big things.
Well, good. You should. You should. You know, one of the things that they both said over and over again, you know, systems. And, you know, when you guys got here, you know, we talked about how are we going to implement this? What's the order? And, you know, the systems part of this business, especially this is what I think people see here, that's the lifestyle side of this business. You know, but there's 2 things that I want to accomplish with people we work with. One, we got to get results. We got to get profitable. We got to start doing deals. The second thing is we're going to systematize everything. We're going to put procedures. We're going to automate it, and that's where you're not only going to get the financial side, but also the lifestyle side. Hey there, this is Peter Vexelman. So today I want to talk to you about something that, like, out of a blue, somebody called me a couple days ago, and they made a comment to me. They said, Pete, you know, a lot of times when you do your videos from your office, especially with people that work for you, And they said, Pete, it seems like you have a very turn and burn environment. It seems like people come and go constantly. And I kind of had a conversation with this individual about that, and I started thinking about that. I was wondering, I started thinking, I don't know why I come across like that in videos, because that is the furthest from the truth in our office. And so there are operations out there that lend themselves to a very turn and burn environment. A lot of sales operations lend themselves to turn environment. That's just the industry they're in, and that's how they function. I could tell you the industry that we're all in, being real estate investors, I would say the furthest from the truth is that. Meaning you want to retain employees here, and you especially want to retain employees in key positions. In my opinion, one of the key positions that we all as investors have here, and you have if you're utilizing them, are negotiators. In the end, negotiators are the glue that holds our whole business together. They're what operates everything. They're what getting deals to us. They're getting deals to us, and in the end, they're the ones who are really pretty much in charge of the bottom line. So I wanted to make a video today here with Gloria. Gloria, how long you been here with me?
13 months.
13 months. So think about it. That's a negotiator, and what Gloria does is she answers the phone. She's got her terminal here in terms of she's able to get information in real time as she's dealing with sellers in a live environment here, and she's able to make decisions. And you're negotiating deals. Aren't you also getting contracts?
Yes.
Okay, so you're negotiating deals, getting contracts. And then you're actually here in a management position. So what does that include here?
I make sure everybody is making calls and getting contracts, and I make sure they have their calls and they come to me with any questions, and I help them negotiate if they need it.
So she has responsibility. We actually have in a team environment here. We have a couple teams, and Gloria is in charge of one of the teams. And don't you also train new negotiators that start?
Yes.
Right. So when a new negotiator starts with us, they go through a training process. Then she supervises them. We pay them overrides in her deals and all that. But again, the point is this. When you get somebody good in this business, you really, really have to make an effort to do whatever you have to do to retain them. Let me just show you some numbers that I had pulled up before we started. So what Gloria's made is she's made about 25,000 calls, or she said over about 25,000 conversations since she's been here with sellers. Out of that, she's sent out 160 contracts. She's gotten 63 contracts received. Now, so think about this. One individual is responsible for 63 opportunities for us to do deals, because what a contract is, it's an opportunity for us to do deals. And when you're making anywhere from, let's say, 8 upwards of $20,000+ a deal, you could see the value of a good employee and especially of a good negotiator. So this is not a turn and burn environment with what we have here, and I suggest if you're working with people in your world, do not get into a turn and burn environment with any aspects of real estate. I don't think contractors should be in a turn and burn environment. I don't think real estate agents need to be in turn environment. Closing agents, definitely negotiators, and anybody else in your world that you're working with. So number one, in order to do that, and you've heard me talk about this a lot of times, invest your time into people. As you notice, one of the responsibilities that Gloria has here is we put people through a training environment when they get started with us. Well, guess what? We invested our time, our money, our effort, our energy into Gloria when she got started with us. When you really start counting how much a good negotiator, a good employee, a good part of your team is worth to you, it's if you're constantly in a turn and burn environment, I promise you're missing this opportunities, because I did not break these numbers down, but I bet you these numbers are weighed towards the back. Meaning when she started with us, she was not at 40% in terms of getting her contracts back or anything like that. So employees actually get better and better over time. So invest your time into your people, invest money, invest energy, and do what you have to do to retain them. Create the kind of environments where people want to be a part of. Very, very important. Hey, this is Peter Vexelman. So today I want to talk to you those that actually invest outside your own market. You know, whether you do it virtual investing or whether you have some satellite offices set up. I want to talk to you how to pick those markets. And the question that always gets asked of me is this. You know, when choosing to invest in different parts of the United States, what's more important? Is it the people or is it the market? And I think in the end, they're both important. And I think in the end, a lot of different people will argue for either one of those. Some people strictly chase the markets. Some people strictly chase the infrastructure or the people they have in those markets. Now, my contention, when everything is said and done, and from personal experience, there is a winner here, and that is people. I think it's more important to invest in markets where you have the right people than the markets themselves. So I want to give you a case study and something that we're actually involved with here and some of the results we're getting and why I make a statement like that. But beyond just this case study, I can give you numerous other examples where I've done investing in different parts of the country and still involved, and almost always across the board. Although we get excited about markets a lot of times, in the end, the ones that we become really successful with, the markets we become really successful in, are the ones where we have the right people involved. So let's talk about something that's happened here recently. A market that we're investing in right now in Jacksonville, Florida, and also one in Charleston. Now, when we started in Charleston, it actually could have been argued that we had the best chance here in the Charleston market. Because in the end, I started out with actually who became a really great friend of mine. His first name is Greg, and he is just a powerhouse in terms of the whole real estate industry. And when I started with him, I felt super duper about the market, and I felt extremely good about the individual I started with. Now, here's what started happening. Because Greg is such a powerhouse in real estate, in the end, he really didn't have the time himself to invest in terms of working with us directly. So he appointed another guy, and I'll use the word A. His name was Adam. So Adam basically became our infrastructure there, our people, or our link to everything we were doing there. Then we started in Jacksonville some time back, and when we started in Jacksonville, Julie literally made a random phone call to an agency in Jacksonville and literally got a random agent who we knew nothing about, and his name is Ken. So outside looking in, we started out in pretty good, you know, what we would consider to be very good investment grade kind of markets, tremendous upside, you know, growth in them, good weather in them, the kind of things that you're looking for in terms of investors wanting to do deals. Super top of the line guy we started here, ended up with just one of his individuals here, a totally random guy. So here's in the end what started happening. In the end, it became very apparent to us over a couple months, Adam was not up for the job. As good as this market was, and we had tremendous, I think we ultimately got up to 18 deals that we had on the table here. In the end, we closed very few of them. So the reality of the situation is we were putting deals on a table, but because of the individual who was in charge of our infrastructure there, remember, not the market, but the individual that was in charge of our market there, in the end, we could now look at this market, this Charleston experience, and pretty much call it an unsuccessful venture, okay? And I would say 100%, zero to do with the facts in Charleston, 100% zero to do with our individual here. Now, let's go back to Jacksonville. Same type of market, very similar conditions, very similar price points, but random individual. We literally call them out of the blue. Interestingly enough, Ken became an absolute superstar. An absolute superstar. Ken, although was not familiar with our model, did whatever he had to do to familiarize himself with the model, stayed up days and nights, worked his rear end off, and in the end, I think from the first 18 deals that we put in front of Ken, I think something like 10 plus we ended up doing. See, it's very apparent that a lot of parallels could be drawn among everything we did here. The only thing really different is the people we started with. And I could, in the end, we're absolutely kicking butt right now, continue to kick butt in our Florida market and pretty much out of this market, not because we don't like the market, but because we ended up being with the wrong individual there. So when you're choosing markets, what do you go with? Do you go with the market, the geographical location, how many properties are selling there, what price points do you have? I think those are all important. I mean, look, if you're going to be doing rental kind of properties, you probably want to be at a price point where rentals make sense. If you want to be retail kind of deals, you want to be at a price point or with an inventory that the market is able to sustain retail kind of deals. But in the end, my contention is very, very simple. In the end, people is what's going to make you or break you in satellite markets or if you're doing virtual type of investing. In my experience, and I can give you examples like this all day long from my personal investing and other people that I know, focus on the people. Focus on developing the right people in your satellite offices or in your satellite locations or in deals that you're doing across the United States. If you develop the right kind of people, the market actually becomes almost secondary because all your focus is on those people. I hope that makes sense.
Hey everyone, it's Michael from Houston, Texas, and I wanted to give a quick shout out and a testimony for Peter. And if you're like me at all, you might have thought that getting into flipping houses was too much time, too much effort, didn't know enough about what to do or how to do it, to make it a reality. And for me, I've always been interested in real estate and flipping in particular. And I have some really good buddies that make some serious cash doing just flips. And like I said, I just thought it was too much for me to handle. And, if I was going to do it, I was going to do it right. I was going to learn from the professionals that could teach me A to Z how to do it, how to make money, how to be the most effective and efficient at doing this. And I ran into Peter's videos on YouTube, and it was instant. I was like, yep, this guy's pro. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's got amazing success, but he's also got the experience and the know-how to teach me, somebody that hasn't done this before. So huge shout out. I've learned more than I thought I would. I'm a quick learner, guys. And I learned a lot more than I thought I would in a much shorter amount of time so that I can do this full time without thinking about it. His program's awesome. Check him out on peteracademy.com if you haven't already, and good luck.